You're listening to the Membership Site Success Podcast, where you learn from successful entrepreneurs how to build and run a profitable membership site so that you too can generate recurring revenue for your business month after month. And now, here's your host, membership site expert, Vic Dorfman.
Brittany Lynch is a successful online entrepreneur who used to work at Google. She has a unique approach to running her online businesses, often combining the sale of physical products and information products to maximize profitability. Welcome, Brittany.
Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. Very first question, jumping right into it, is how did you get into online entrepreneurship?
Yeah, well, I grew up in a really entrepreneurial family, and I think I was really fortunate to have that experience because I was kind of made aware that, there's other ways to live your life than working for someone else. And obviously there's, nothing wrong with that. That's a great path for certain people. But I think with that upbringing, I was made aware that, I could work for myself early on. And so I started thinking that way. So I guess in a way I really kind of fell into it. I started my own businesses when I was young. From shoveling snow and going door to door to sell homemade candles. And then as I got older, Google was getting popular, and I just, for whatever reason, fell in love with the company. And I ended up getting a job there working in the AdWords department, so their online paid traffic department. And I always was there kind of with the end in mind that I would go back and work for myself again. And so when my contract ended, I decided to start my own business. And initially I was doing services for other people, helping them basically run online advertising campaigns. And at that point I was living in Sweden, and because of the language barrier and I didn't have a work visa, I couldn't work in the country. So I kind of turned to the internet and turned to, okay, how can I optimize my time a little bit more? And I transitioned out of services and into information products around how to use AdWords or how to use paid traffic. And it really just evolved from there. And kind of, I've been fortunate to have a, strong business growth year after year.
Okay, that's actually a really great segue, because I think a lot of people out there in internet land are contractors or service providers or even productized service providers, but they don't really own their time yet. And they're looking at membership sites or a recurring model as a way to sort of solidify their income month to month and reclaim their time so that they're not really having to work so much or do everything themselves. So let me ask you this. How did you sort of become attracted to the membership site or recurring model? What is your thought there?
Well, you kind of touched on it. Just the idea that you have recurring income every single month is beautiful. And in the service industry, I did have recurring income. So I was charging monthly service fees, but I was still working specific hours in order to make that income. And so with the information marketing model, I was just able to leverage my time a little better. I could literally make sales of my membership site while I was sleeping and be able to, make money whether I was at my desk or not, and free up my time a lot more. And that was really, really important to me because, I love to travel. My mom lives in Indonesia. I grew up there when I was younger. The rest of my family's in Canada. So, freeing my time from working at a desk was really important. And, a membership site, unlike maybe a one-off ebook, provides a little bit more stability in the sense that, if you have a certain number of members and how much ever you're charging them, you've got, X dollars coming in month after month. So that stability is really, really nice.
And can you talk about one of your membership sites?
Yeah, sure. So, I'll give you an example of sort of my latest membership site. It's targeted towards the DIY, like do-it-yourself kind of audience, specifically relating to soap making and candles and that type of thing. And basically, it kind of evolved out of my interest in that niche. And I think having interest in a niche is really, really important. So I had an interest in this niche. I started to build an ebook on this product. And from that, I created a Facebook group, and I had my customers add themselves to the Facebook group. And I started to see questions like my members asking for a training video on how to make a lotion or how to make soap or, different recipes and that sort of thing. And it was a recurring question. And so I really, when I saw that, I realized that there was demand for every month or, more often even having a video tutorial of how to make a certain type of soap or, body lotion or something along those lines. And so the light bulb kind of went off that this would be perfect for a membership area. So with membership sites and with, standalone products for that matter as well, I really look to my customers, or if I don't have customers yet, my prospects, to tell me what it is that they want.
That's a really cool idea, using Facebook. How are you getting those people onto Facebook? Are you adding them through a funnel? Are you getting their emails somehow?
Yeah, exactly. So how my funnel kind of looks is I send traffic to a squeeze page, and on the squeeze page, after they enter their email, they get upsold into an ebook, and then from there, they're on my email sequence. And in my first 3 emails, I let them know about my Facebook group, and it's a really nice value add to my members because they're able to learn from me directly, but it's also great for building relationships because groups are really like hyperactive relationship builders. If you look at email marketing as kind of a one-way street, Facebook groups, you can communicate 2 ways. They can ask you questions back, and as a result, you're able to build trust faster and all of that other good stuff, which translate directly into increasing your profits.
What kind of profits? You don't have to mention your numbers, but what kind of profits can people get with membership sites?
Yeah, so I'm making solid 6 figures a year with my membership sites. And I think, 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures, that's all possible, and people are all doing it online with membership sites. I think the most important thing is when you're starting a membership site, set a goal. And if it's even if it's $1,000 a month, but then translate that into how many members you need, because setting a financial goal is great, but you need to translate into an actionable plan. So how many members you need in order to achieve your desired income goal is kind of a good next step. And then from there, you can reverse engineer it a little bit more into, how many people you need to come to your sales page in order to make that number of sales.
That's very much in line with the 4-hour workweek concept of sort of break down what you need to do on a daily basis to make it look more doable. Basically, if you need 3 to 5 people a day to earn 6 figures, then that's a lot less intimidating than I need to make 6 figures.
Oh yeah, and that makes I find a huge difference when it comes to taking action. People will have a goal of making 6 figures a year online, but that can be rather intimidating. But when you break it down, it's only really $274 a day. And so how does that translate into how many memberships you need to sell? How many people you need to get to join your program? So I definitely believe that philosophy.
So how do you grow your membership site? How do you get people into your funnel? What kind of tactics, let's say your 2 most successful tactics for getting traffic and getting sales?
Yeah, so that's perfect. So there are kind of 2 big ways that I do it. Number 1 is I build my own funnel. So I set up a squeeze page, and on the thank you page, I upsell them to a standalone ebook, and then from there I upsell them into a membership program. I often find that it's more difficult to make your first sale as a recurring fee. You'll have a higher conversion rate selling another product first, which is 1 fee, and then upselling to a membership site. So that's generally what I'll do. And then, once I have people on my email list, I'll promote the membership club through email marketing. So that way I'm kind of in control of my own destiny, and I can kind of, turn on the traffic and turn it off as I kind of see fit. Now, the other way, which is maybe more appealing to people who aren't going to spend money on paid traffic right off of the hop, is joint ventures. So I work a lot with joint ventures, and I spend a lot of time kind of developing relationships in the industry, and I would encourage you to start to develop relationships in your space, whether it's with bloggers or authorities in your niche, because having joint ventures is a huge asset. I am able to go to my partners and let them know, look, I've got a new product, I'd love for you to promote it, and 9 times out of 10, or most of the time 10 times out of 10, promote it for me because we developed a relationship. So usually I'll sell a higher end product between $100 and $500 on a webinar, and then on the back end I'll upsell to, again, a recurring membership program.
I totally agree, Brittany. I didn't really realize the role of relationships in business until maybe the last year or so, because I'm and I'm sure many of the people listening can relate, kind of a technical person. Sort of leave me alone to do my work. I don't really care about people. Not I don't care about people, but I can't be bothered to build relationships and schmooze and all that kind of thing. But what I found in the last year is that had I not joined this group, this Dynamite Circle, you know about that, I'm sure, And had I not joined a mastermind to build relationships with people who can help me and whom I can help, and who sort of pass the beer test, would I want to sit down outside of the business context and have a beer with this person? Are they cool? Are they somebody I'd want to work with?
Yeah.
That has been so helpful to my business, probably responsible for exponential growth for the first time in my business's life.
Yeah, masterminds are fantastic too. I actually noticed the most growth in my own business as well when I joined a mastermind group. So I would definitely highly recommend that to someone. I think it's not necessary when you're first starting out, but once you've kind of started to make some money online, it's a great way to take your business to the next step.
For sure, 'cause you can fool yourself. You can't fool a whole group of people who hold you accountable.
Yeah, exactly. And then like you said, the beer test. I love that phrase. The networking is amazing in a mastermind group.
Okay, so one thing that you sort of glossed over is that I know you like to use physical products to sort of, because physical products convert better, you sort of like to use them as loss leaders to get people into your funnel. Could you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so, I have a philosophy that combining physical products with information products equals high conversion rate, high profitability. So with physical products, let's just say cupcake molds. There's a common value associated with that. If someone sees a set of silicone cupcake molds and you tell them it's $10, they're probably going to accept that fact fairly easily because that fits with their values that they've seen, in the real world. Mm-hmm. Whereas if you're saying, look, this is a $10 ebook on how to make cupcakes, it's worth $10, it's hard for them to necessarily agree with that right away because they don't have as much experience with it. And so you're able to assign value to physical products a lot easier. And so I like to use physical products as a way to get people onto my mailing list, either selling physical products on the front end or running free giveaways around physical products. And then on the back end, upsell and cross over into information marketing, whether it's an ebook or a monthly membership program, often both, because that's where the high profitability comes in.
Okay. And I know you actually offer a training on this, and I know this because I've worked with you in the capacity of helping you set up your membership site and maintain it and everything. So for anybody who's interested in sort of learning about the combination of physical products and information products, where can we send people to check that out?
Yeah, so it's idealme.com/lifestyle business. And the course really does center around creating a lifestyle business with that concept that you mentioned, the combination of physical products and information products. And I talk a lot about, setting your goals, how do you achieve your financial goals, but also your lifestyle goals. So you're not tied to your desk and earning money, because there's many members who actually joined that program who were already making 6 or even 7 figures a year, but they were tied to their desk. And so they wanted to free their time a little bit more. And so we really go over that in the training program.
Okay, very cool. And for you people listening, it's idealme.com/lifestyle business. Is that right?
Yeah, /lifestyle business.
Okay, and I'll put the link down in the transcript and below this recording. And one thing specifically I wanted to ask you about, Brittany, was your sort of use of webinars, because I've noticed that you always seem to be doing a webinar. And how do those work out for you? How do you sort of orchestrate those?
Yeah. Sure. So, I love webinars. I think it's because I don't really like to write. I don't think I'm the best writer in the world. I know my spelling's absolutely awful. And so I find running webinars a lot easier than writing sales copy or even creating a product. So I use webinars for 2 purposes. 1, to sell, and 2, to fulfill products. So number 1, I use webinars to sell my products. A lot of my products are, mid to higher price point. So when you have products that are mid to high price point, webinars are really what I believe the best way to sell those products, because you're able to build a relationship with your prospects so much faster, build up trust. They can hear your voice and get to know you a lot faster than they would through just written copy. And so, I love sales webinars for that reason. Also, you get to interact with the audience, so it's a lot of fun. But they can also be used to fulfill your product. So if you're the type of person who maybe doesn't want to sit down and write a 20-page PDF to use as your information product or even as your recurring monthly membership, you can fulfill it on webinars. You don't have to necessarily have an audience, but it makes it really easy to record it and create an information product really, really fast. And I often pre-sell my products. So what I mean by that is I will sell live trainings and then I'll convert the recordings into an evergreen model where I can continue to sell it, after I've done the work. So essentially I'm getting paid before I actually have to do the work when I pre-sell products. And that can be a huge motivator for a lot of people, especially when you're just getting started out. So there's lots of reasons why I love webinars, but those are a few of them.
That's very cool. And I've also noticed that my most successful clients, financially speaking, I guess, money-wise, all run webinars, all partner with JVs, and all offer premium priced products, all three of which you do as well. Yeah,
I think that those are important. And, a lot of people are nervous about selling a product that's a higher price point. And when I first got started, I think my first price point was like $47. So it was actually higher than what a lot of people start at, but, not high. And, you get intimidated, but it's all about value. And you think, can I deliver $1,000 of value or $500 of value or whatever it is? And value is subjective to the person who's purchasing it. But, you're able to make $1 million or whatever your income goal a lot faster by selling fewer of a product that's at a higher price point.
For sure. And I think it also holds you kind of accountable if you charge at a higher rate or at a higher price point, because if somebody pays you $500, you're going to be thinking, crap, I really need to deliver on this. Otherwise, they'll let you know and they'll ask for a refund.
Yeah, definitely. It really does. I always, whenever I have a new product that's, medium or high price point, I always get a sense of anxiety. I can't sleep for a little while because I really want to make sure that I'm delivering a lot of value in the training program and make sure my customers are happy. So that's a really nice perk to it for both the customer and yourself.
So just a few more questions and we'll wrap up, Brittany. One thing I wanted to ask you was, are there any kind of specific tools that you feel like maybe your top 3 tools or web apps that you really feel help you run your business smoothly or that really contribute kind of 80-20,
Yeah, actually there are. I really like this question. So there's 2 that I think are absolutely crucial and made a huge difference in my business. The first one is MindMeister, and you could use any mind mapping tool. What it is it's a mind mapping tool. And this is something I actually more recently got into, which is mind mapping. And I find that I have thousands of thoughts in my head at any given moment, and I have so many projects on the go, and I'm the type of person who gets really excited about ideas and wants to do them yesterday. So managing all of that can be somewhat difficult and can get disorganized or chaotic very easily. So using mind mapping, I found, has really helped me create a clear, concise plan for everything that I want to get done, my goals, organizing next steps, to-dos, that sort of thing. So I love mind mapping. MindMaster is a great tool. The next thing I would say, kind of stemming from that, is Trello, which is a really awesome productivity and to-do list program. What I like about it is it's very, very simple. Basically, you just have 3 boards: to do, doing, and done, and you drag your tasks between the 3. And I like that it's simple. I like that it's not overly complicated, and I can just jot it down and drag it over when it's done. So I kind of use MindMaster and Trello often together. MindMaster for the big picture and Trello for the little steps that I need to get done to fulfill that mind map. And then finally, this is a little more boring, but it's absolutely crucial in my business. It's ScreenFlow. And that's what I use to record training videos and anytime I need to share something with my students.
Yeah, I'm going to second Trello. I think it's really, really smart the way they built it, because if you think about the way you write a to-do list just on a piece of paper, that's what Trello is essentially imitating in the digital world. You write something down, you're working on it, you're working on it, maybe you circle it, then you're done and you cross it off.
It's awesome. And it's so rewarding dragging something to the done category.
Do you have a team to help you that you work with Trello with?
Yeah, so I have a personal board, and then I also have a team board where we can kind of assign tasks. And keep just keep in mind what is on other team members' priority list, which has been really helpful. And we've tried all sorts of different tools that are more advanced for teams, and we really like Trello the most.
And specifically in terms of running a membership site, what kind of manpower, what kind of human resources do you sort of budget for when you're launching or when you're just maintaining the site?
Really for running a membership site. So first I should say I'm a really bad designer, and I'm really bad at technology things. And that's how you and I got connected, was because I desperately needed help, right? Mm-hmm. So, when it comes to running a membership site, I outsource the tech, and actually you help me with a lot of that, which is awesome, because without you, I don't know what I would do. And then I have a virtual assistant who helps me with, often I'll create a recorded webinar, I'll send them the webinar, get them to transcribe it and create like worksheets out of it. And then myself, I plug it in. You don't need a big team. In fact, you can run it all yourself. You certainly don't need a tech person or a VA to do it, especially when you're just getting started, but that's kind of my system.
Let me ask you this. What are you working on right now in terms of membership stuff, and where can our listeners find you?
Yeah, so I'm working on a number of different memberships. Like I said, I've got my Do-It-Yourself Club. I also have my Success You membership club, where I feature a new lifestyle business every single month and talk about, how the audience can achieve a lifestyle business like that. Mm-hmm. And so you can find more information about that and myself at idealme.com.
Awesome, Brittany. Thank you so much for coming on. It was really cool having you. You really know what you're talking about, and I think that our listeners are going to get a lot of value.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you having me on, and I hope that the answers are valuable for those who are listening. And, just to kind of sum up, choose a niche that interests you and break it down into a plan, not an overall goal, and, take action, and you can build a really successful and profitable membership site. And it's really nice for a lifestyle business.
Okay. Thanks, Brittany.
Thanks, Vic.
Wasn't that scrumptious? Thanks for listening to the Membership Site Success Podcast with membership site expert Vic Dorfman. For oodles of free tips, tricks, and tutorials on crushing it with recurring revenue, go to www.vicdorfman.com. It's what all the cool kids do, and you do want to be cool, don't you? See you next time.